Okay, everyone, let's get started. Thank you for joining us today on this Lebesgue's free webinar that's titled Black Friday, Cyber Monday 2021 and How to 10x Your Shopify Sales. My name is Tony, and I'm the head of customer success here at Lebesgue. And I'm really excited to share some of the data that we have and some of the data that we've analyzed from last year and what we are going to be suggesting our businesses and our users to actually be doing this year to get better sales and to make the most out of your Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales that you are all probably going to be running because this is the best time of the year to actually run ads. Conversion rates are the best because customers are kind of holding off to purchasing their presents and to purchasing electronics, to purchasing basically anything that is going to be discounted on during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So let's try to make the most out of it. Lebesgue as a company is a marketing and data science company. We do have an app on the Shopify App Store, and we do have over 400 users here. So our background is in digital marketing and data science. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to combine data science and digital marketing to help businesses not make mistakes and to make the most out of their advertising budget. So without further ado, I am going to get started with the webinar, but as my colleague Michael, that's on the webinar as well, mentioned, if you have any questions, you can always ask them in the chat during the webinar, but we are going to be probably answering them in our Q&A session after we're done with our slides and after we've gone through everything that we've prepared for you today. So let's jump right in. Today's agenda is going to be divided into 4 different parts. So basically, we are going to be looking at the results that businesses have had in 2020, how to prepare for Black Friday, Cyber Monday in 2021, and how to execute the best strategy now in 2021. So we are going to have some 10 tips and tricks that you can use to get the most out of your advertising budget on Facebook and Google, and how you can actually expect your revenue to be distributed over the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So what's going to happen on Friday, what might be happening on Saturday, Sunday, and then how your sales are going to be looking like on Monday. So what we did at Lebesgue and what our data science team did is we've analyzed last year's Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales for over 400 users in our Lebesgue app on Shopify. So these are all e-commerce businesses selling on Shopify. So this should be very, very relevant for you if you are running on Shopify and if you're running an e-commerce business. So what we did is we ran an analysis, and what we've noticed is that in 2020, businesses have had a median growth in revenue of 143% during the Black Friday weekend compared to the 30 days before it. That 143% median rise in revenue looked really, really kind of low to us. And we wanted to analyze what businesses were doing wrong and what could be done much, much better this year to really maximize your revenue coming in from your advertising. And that's why we're doing this webinar, to really help businesses get the most out of their advertising budget. So 143% rise in revenue happened last year. But what we also found is that 60% of advertisers actually start advertising in the week leading up to Black Friday. And not just advertising, but also giving out discounts in the week of Black Friday, not just for Black Friday to Cyber Monday. So if you were thinking about running a sale only from Friday till Monday, you might be kind of outdone by your competition. So if you can start earlier, if you can afford to start running a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale from Monday leading all the way up to next Monday, so Cyber Monday, that would be a good start. We've also noticed that the earliest start of Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaign was even 30 days before the whole weekend started. Budget-wise, we've seen businesses spending 3 times more on Facebook than they are spending on Google. This can be seen as a mistake. It might not be a mistake, but if you are thinking about how to divide your budget between Facebook and Google, a majority of the businesses have been spending 3 times more on Facebook than they have been spending on Google, which doesn't mean that you can completely ignore Google and your campaigns on Google, but Facebook has kind of been a preferred channel for most advertisers that we have in our system. So that's why most of our tips and tricks are going to be related to Facebook, but Google cannot be ignored, and we are going to be touching up on it during the webinar as well. So when you look at the budget distribution on Facebook, this is how businesses have started ramping up their spending on Facebook. So you can actually see a rise has been happening 4 weeks, a rise in spending on Facebook has been happening 4 weeks before the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend started. And it kind of all culminates in this 1 week before the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, where they do spend a majority of their Facebook advertising budget. But what you can also see is that a rise in purchases does not necessarily increase equally as the advertising spend does. And that's because during that Black Friday week, so from Monday to Friday, when you're potentially not running a sale, so when you're still having full prices on your website, customers are going to be less inclined to purchase from you because they are going to be expecting some sort of a discount on Friday. Personally, just knowing myself, even right now, being in the digital advertising world, what I'm doing is I'm just holding off on a majority of my bigger purchases for this year, waiting up till Black Friday, because I know I am going to be getting a better deal on Black Friday. So this kind of purchase intent is something that goes way down in the last week before Black Friday actually starts and before you start doing your sales on Friday. So that's why it's important to actually start as early as possible. And we are going to be talking about this later on in our webinar, because not everyone is going to be starting that early. So you can kind of get a jump on the competition and also get a bit of a lower CPM on Facebook. What was mostly happening on the Google side of things, and where we see customers, where we see our users have spent the most budget on, is shopping campaigns, search campaigns, and a bit on video campaigns, while smart and display campaigns have been pretty much ignored in the whole budget mix that they were doing on Google. And this does make sense. So a majority of the money was spent on shopping campaigns, but you cannot ignore other types of campaigns. So your search campaigns are going to be, so your search campaigns are also going to be profitable potentially. But really what's important to do is that you need to do the campaign extensions. So use the campaign extensions on Google when you are when you are promoting your products on Google and when you are running your shopping and search campaigns, because this is going to affect your click-through rates positively, and just having a sale is also going to be affecting your conversion rates on Google positively as well. So just looking at the past year's performance, we want to help our customers and you as well to maximize your earnings during the Black Friday weekend. So we are going to get to this 10x number a bit later in our slides, and why we actually set 10x. This was not just on top off the top of our heads. We think that customers can have up to 900% more sales this year during Black Friday than we've seen people have last year. So how you can prepare for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Just a couple of tips and tricks that we've gotten by using our app is that first, check your checkout funnel before Black Friday starts. And the reason why you want to have a simple and really easy to use checkout funnel is that you want customers that are logging into your website, that are visiting your website during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, to check out as easily as possible. You don't want to have any frills. You don't want to have any complicated funnel steps. You don't want people dropping off at the wrong steps. You want them to add an item to cart, checkout, initiate purchase, initiate checkout and purchase as soon as they can. So your checkout funnel is a big part of that. You can have the best possible advertising, but if your checkout funnel is broken, customers are simply not going to be purchasing from you. The attention span of customers these days is around 3 to 4 seconds. If they can't find the checkout button in 3 to 4 seconds, no matter how good your deal is, some people are simply going to drop off and purchase something else that is on sale that day. You got to remember, people are going to be bombarded by ads. So as early as possible, check every single step of your checkout funnel on the website today. Do it today, do it tomorrow. Don't do it a week before Black Friday, because if you need something fixed then, it's already too late. So start checking your checkout funnel and seeing where customers drop off most frequently, and get to fixing that as early as possible. Another thing is that you should probably try and know your ad price in advance. And wouldn't it be cool if you can just kind of know what your CPM is going to be in a couple of weeks when Black Friday starts, so you know how much budget you need to put in and what your actual customer acquisition cost is? Well, we do have that in our app, and I am going to show you later during the webinar how to get to your projected CPM. But really, what we are expecting is that CPM is going to be rising between 10 and 20% across the market. But we have actually had some predictions that it's also going to be going up by over 40%. So if you can start advertising early, if you can start gathering your audience that you can then retarget on Facebook on Black Friday, on the Black Friday weekend, you should start doing that now while the CPM is still a bit lower on the market. Once everyone joins the mix and once the competition on Facebook and Google Ads is very, very high during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, it is going to get really, really expensive to advertise. And you need to know your ad price before you do start that. One more thing that we recommend to basically everyone is to always keep an eye on your competition. So you're probably not the only player in your space, you're not the only player in your niche, and it's always good to know what the competition is doing, what kind of ads they are running, what kind of sales they're giving out, how much of a discount your competitor is going to be doing, because you are going to be competing for the same customers. And you want to know what others are doing, so you can kind of mimic their best practices, and just so you can kind of know how many ads they're using. Are you actually placing enough ads out there? Are you getting in front of enough eyes? So always try and keep kind of an eye on your competition, and how you can do that is also through our app. So let me just spend 2 or 3 minutes in our app to show you these features that I've been talking about. So when I've mentioned that you want to have your funnel optimized and that you don't want to have any unnecessary mistakes, that's why we've kind of built this funnel analysis feature, where you can really see where your customers are dropping off the most and how you compare to industry benchmarks. So for this kind of test account, the biggest problem that I see is not the add to cart rate, because it's really good. Usually we expect around a 50% add to cart rate when Black Friday is not happening. This business has over 26% of an add to cart rate, but the checkout rate is a problem here. And whenever I see a checkout rate problem, what I usually do is I look into my cart page, and I try to find the checkout button as easily and as quickly as possible. And usually you are going to see businesses that have the checkout button placed in all the wrong places. They are not prioritizing it enough. And that's something that I would like to have fixed before Black Friday actually starts, so that customers can check out of my store as quickly and as easily as possible. Another interesting bit that I've mentioned is the CPM and how it's going to look like during the Black Friday weekend and how you can actually know your CPM. Well, let me just show you what happened last year. So this is us analyzing the whole market. So more than 400 ad accounts are connected here. We are aggregating this data and we are trying to average it out as much as possible. But if we look at the last 365 days and what was happening with the CPM on the market, what's going to be really interesting to see is, so I have it in weekly breakdown here. And as soon as this loads, I'm just going to look at the market average. So this is yearly data. And as you can see, this is October of 2020. And CPM was around $8 at the end of October. Right now, we're at the end of October and CPM is already $10. So Facebook advertising has gotten more expensive in the last year, and this has been some 25% more expensive. But look at this, as we are moving closer and closer to Black Friday, so even in the whole month of November, we are seeing the CPM rise from $8 to $10. And then at this peak, when Black Friday was happening, CPM was $10 for the whole market. So that's an average rise in just a couple of weeks of 25%. And this year already, we've gone through a peak at the beginning of October, and now we are already at $10 of a CPM as the market average. But just kind of looking at the forecast, and we are using our data science team to actually forecast the CPM for the whole market. And what you can see is this is not Black Friday weekend yet. So this is a week before Black Friday, and the CPM is already going to be rising by some 10%. During the Black Friday weekend, we are going to see that skyrocket, and your advertising is going to get more expensive. So if you can get on the advertising train and start kind of building your audience that you are going to retarget during the Black Friday weekend, now is the time, because these numbers are only going to be trending up. So we do see a rise in CPM that's going to be happening in the next 30 days. If you do decide to install our app after this webinar, you are going to get a forecast for your business in particular. All you need to do is connect your Facebook ad account, and you are going to be seeing how your CPM is going to be behaving in the next 30 days. One more thing that I've mentioned is the competitor analysis and how you can keep an eye on your competitors. And that's through our competitor analysis feature that you have in the Lebesgue app. Really a great way to do to keep an eye on your competitors is to do this in the competitor analysis feature. And we've put some of the bigger brands here for this test account. So we're using Metallic, we're using Allbirds and ButcherBox. And what I usually like to do is I want to look at their new ads that they've released in the last 2 weeks. So in the last 2 weeks, I see Italic has been putting out a couple of new ads. So there's been 24 new ads in the last 2 weeks. If I want, I can kind of do a daily breakdown of this for the last 30 days and see when and how many new ads they have been launching. So if your competition is launching more new ads than you are, and during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, we are going to be updating this daily. You might need to step up your creative game and launch a couple of new ads as well to really be in front of as many eyes as possible. Well, what's a great feature here is that you can actually break these ads down by the best practices that your competitors are using. So what kind of images they're using? Are they using videos, and what kind of videos they're running in their campaigns? If they're using carousel ads, how do these carousel ads look like? And if you want to break them down by copy, what kind of call to actions are they using? Are they using any promotions? Of course, during Black Friday, they are going to be using promotions, but we've seen that using promotions always positively affects the conversion rate on your ads. So if they're mentioning shipping info, if they're mentioning any sort of sense of urgency in the ads, this is all something that you can break their ads down by and have this publicly available information at the tip of your hands. But we've also recently added this Black Friday hacks section in our Lebesgue app. And here we are going to be putting in information that is going to be directly related to Black Friday and Cyber Monday. What you can expect from your CPM during that time. So a normal benchmark for CPM is around $18 for certain markets, but during Black Friday, what we're forecasting it to be is around 43%. You can also break this down by the type of ad. So what's going to be the most expensive? And video is always going to be most expensive. So maybe you want to default to carousel ads, because if the ad price is the highest, try defaulting to ads that do have a lower CPM, and try using those a bit more than just videos, because trust me, everyone is going to be bidding on videos, and Facebook has a limited space where they can actually show videos. So if everyone's competing on videos, this is going to be going up even more. What's the click-through rate going to be like during Black Friday? We're expecting it to go up just a tiny bit, so by some 3% compared to normal benchmarks. But what's interesting to see is the conversion rate. So the conversion rate during normal Facebook advertising times is around 4%. Of course, it heavily depends on the average order value that you have, but on average, it's around 4%. And during the Black Friday weekend, we're forecasting it to be even around 9%. So when you are planning your budgets, when you are planning how much money you can put in and how many conversions you can expect for that, what your customer acquisition cost is going to be, you got to keep in mind that the conversion rate is going to be much higher, even though the CPM is going to be higher as well. We've also built a couple of advice that you can use for your checkout funnel. So how to improve your add to cart rate, how to improve your initiate checkout rate, which should again be much higher during the Black Friday weekend, but also more importantly, how to improve your purchase rate as well. And last but not least, these are going to be the growth hacks that you can use on your ads. So this is going to be valuable advice that we are going to be updating as the weekend is going to be nearing. So if you want to check this out, our app is going to be available on the Shopify App Store, and we do have a free trial. But now let's just move back into how you can execute the best strategy. And here we are going to have some 10 tips and tricks that are going to be affecting your sales during the Black Friday weekend. And I want to get started on these as early as possible. So you cannot ignore sending emails. And we've been doing digital marketing for the last couple of years. We do have over $20 million of ad spend behind us. But during the Black Friday weekend, email is going to be your cheapest way to advertise. And your old customers, so your previous purchasers, are going to be the customers that do have the highest chance of converting again from you if you are giving discounts, because if you do have a good brand, if they were happy with the products that they purchased from you, they've received good customer service, sending emails is going to impact your conversion rates very, very much. And this is the ideal frequency that we found by years of testing. So what you want to do on Friday is you want to send 2 emails. You want to send one at 10 a.m. and then you want to send one at 5 p.m. Then on Saturday, you are going to be following up again with your Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales, but you're only going to be following up to people who haven't opened the emails on Friday. Then on Sunday, you send one more email to everyone. And on Monday, you are again going to be sending out 2 emails. The first email is going to be to everyone. And then at 5 p.m., you're only going to be following up non-openers. And here you are going to be creating a sense of urgency by telling them, okay, Cyber Monday is the last day of sales. You have a couple more hours to purchase. So head on to our website and get the item that you want to sell, that you actually want to buy as quickly as possible while the sale lasts for the last couple of hours. We've tested out this frequency of sending emails. We've played around in Klaviyo a lot, and we've done it for a lot of brands. This has been the best performer for us to date. The second advice that we do have is that you want to have an intuitive offer. And you want to build that sense of urgency, but you also want your offer to be easily understandable and to be easily relatable with. So what you usually don't want to do is you don't want to do cascading discounts. We've tried this, and a cascading discount is basically you get 20% off on one product, 25% on 2 products, et cetera, et cetera. And we've tested this out on many businesses. And what we've usually found is that the average conversion rate on when you're giving out cascading discounts is around 3.5%. Well, if you do a site-wide offer, so if you just give 30% off of everything or 20% off of everything, it is going to be 6.4. So it's the conversion rate when you do have a site-wide offer versus cascading discounts is almost twice in size, just because your offer is easily understandable and it's easily relatable too. So just if you're doing bundles, customers are going to have this feeling of missing out on something. They're not going to be sure whether or not they need the second item. Are they going to gift it? Are the bundles actually logical? Do they need the second item that you're bundling in with the first? A site-wide offer, just a discount, is going to do wonders for your conversion rate versus giving out bundles or doing cascading offers on your products. The third advice is to start on time. So we've mentioned that you want to start on time by doing your campaigns as early as possible. So if you can start ramping up your spend already now and building out the retargeting audience that you are then going to heavily retarget with your offers during the Black Friday weekend, that's a good thing. But you also, if you can, you also want to start your sale on the first day of the week of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So don't just start giving out sales on Friday. If you can, start early and start your sale on Monday. Why this is really important is that by the time that you start your ads on Friday, other businesses have already had 4 days of their ads running. So you are going to be running into really heavy competition, which is going to be increasing your CPM. But also what's going to be happening is if you start your ads on Friday and you're competing against people who have had their ads running for the last 4 days, their ad sets are already going to have enough data that they are going to be successful. And Facebook is always going to prefer a successful ad versus one that hasn't been proven yet. So basically, if you have a competitor that in the last 4 days has had 100, 150 sales on a certain ad set, and you come into this mix with an ad that still doesn't have a conversion rate, you still don't know what the click-through rate is going to be, Facebook is always going to be preferring to show relevant ads to its customers. And that is going to cost you in CPM, but it's also going to cost you in a decrease in ad delivery. So you are going to be kind of a new player on the market at that time, and Facebook is going to prefer proven ads as well. And it's also a good idea to start on time, because then you can use the first couple of days to actually tweak your content, optimize the best performing images, optimize the best performing communication, and have those ads set up and running perfectly when the most customers are going to be expecting discounts, which is going to be between Friday and Monday of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So we are going to be giving you competitor information during that week on a daily basis. So you are going to be seeing what your competition is doing, whether or not they've already started sales, what kind of ads they're running, how much of a discount they are doing. So during that Black Friday, Cyber Monday week in the Lebesgue app, this is going to be available on a daily basis and updated on a daily basis as well. One more thing that I wanted to talk about is, and this is more of a pro tip. It's using accelerated delivery on your Facebook ads. So this is not usually a tactic that we do recommend to all businesses all the time, but during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, we do recommend using accelerated delivery on your Facebook ads. And what this basically means is if you have a CBO optimized campaign, or if you're using ad set budget, Facebook is going to try and spread that budget across the whole day. So if you have $100 that you want to spend on Friday, Facebook is going to be spending those those $100 from midnight to next midnight. But when you go for accelerated delivery, Facebook is going to be delivering your ads much quicker to your audience, but it is going to be more expensive. But why it's a smart idea to use accelerated delivery is because Facebook is still not going to know what your conversion rate is. Facebook does know your expected conversion rate. If you're now running Facebook ads and your conversion rate is around $3, then Facebook knows, okay, so your CAC is $15 per purchase. And then when you use accelerated delivery, what's going to be happening during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend is that your conversion rate is not actually going to be 3%. It's going to be 9%. But Facebook doesn't know that, and it's still going to be conservative in showing your ads. And it is going to take it a couple of days to actually get the new data from your ads to know who to show your ads to, because you haven't been running a sale before. Expected conversion rate is 3%. Now it's 9%. You want to have your ads in front of as many people as possible. So while using accelerated delivery, those $100 are not going to be spread across the whole day. They're going to be spread across a couple of hours. Sometimes even if your budget is $100 a day, Facebook can spend it in minutes, but it is going to be spending it much quicker, and it is going to be bringing you conversions much quicker. So this is a bit risky to use, and you always need to use a bid cap to actually enable accelerated delivery. But during the Black Friday weekend, we've tried on a couple of accounts and we've seen really good results with that, just because our personal expected conversion rate is much higher, but Facebook doesn't know it. And we want to teach Facebook what to expect during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend as quickly as possible. And accelerated delivery is a really good tactic to use here. Now, the next step that we wanted to recommend is using a bit of psychology in your pricing. And this has been taken from nickkalenda.com. We do recommend you read up on his content a bit before starting your ads as well, because he does have some really interesting psychology practices that you can use in your advertising. And one of them is the subtraction principle. So when you are putting your prices on the website, or when you're putting your prices on your ads, what you want to do is you want to have the old price on the left and the new price on the right, or you want to have the old price on top of the new price. And this is really done to enable customers to really do the calculation in their mind really quickly. So it's really easy to subtract when you have the old price on the left and the new on the right. So you see the difference is $5. And on the right, again, you see, okay, 50 minus 25. Okay, so the new price is going to be 25. So this is going to help your customers really get kind of a hang of the discount that they are getting. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Rashan. My bad, I've put Nick Kalenda with a C. It's actually Kalenda. Thank you for correcting me on that. So this is on the subtraction principle, but also try using smaller fonts for smaller prices, because your brain is typically going to associate the size of the font with the size of the price. So when you are giving out discounts, when you want to say, okay, this is a really low price, use a smaller font. So you don't use a big font like this. Use a smaller font, put it somewhere in the corner, because customers are going to be associating that with a lower price. And also a really interesting psychological hack that you can do is that when you're mentioning discounts, if the number is higher than the percentage, then show the number. So for example, if you're giving out a $40 discount on the price of a product that's $200, the $40 is higher than the 20% that this basically is. So always mention the higher number. So it is a $40 discount, not a 20% discount. But if the percentage is higher than a number, then show the percentage. So if you're giving 30% off of, so if you're giving 30% off on the price of $50, put, okay, this is discounted by 30%, not just $15. Again, higher numbers imply higher discounts, and customers are going to be more inclined to actually use your offer. My bad. A couple of ad suggestions, actually just one ad suggestion and one email example, because we are going to have the rest of the content available in our app. You always want to have, during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you always want to have the discount visible in the image. So if you're giving $60 off, put it in the image, put it in smaller font to kind of emphasize 60% off you want to have as high as possible. But you do want to mention it in the image as well, and mention it if possible in the ad description as well. For a good email example, you always want to emphasize savings. So point out that it's 30% off on everything, because 30% off is a higher percentage. New price should always be written in smaller fonts to really show that it is a new, smaller price. The smaller the font, the lower the price in the customer's mind. And the new price should always be under the old price to enable easier calculation for your customers, and they are going to be more inclined to purchase in that way. One more thing that you want to do on Black Friday is you want to emphasize urgency as much as possible. So even if you are going to be running the sale for the whole week, emphasize urgency as much as you can. Promote next day shipping if it's possible, and if you can, offer up next day delivery. Anything that you can kind of offer now to build a sense of urgency is good to build the fear of missing out. So the customers do want to purchase as quickly as possible, and this is really going to be affecting your conversion rates as well. So if you have a countdown timer on your website, if you don't have a countdown timer on your website, your conversion rate is going to be around 3.1%. But if you do just put a countdown timer on your website, your conversion rate is going to be rising to 5.2%. So this is something that we have tested out. We've seen businesses really have a much higher conversion rate when they are using a countdown timer versus when they are not. Also, you want to have a banner set up on your website. So that's our advice number 8. The banner should be set up at the top of your website. Here you can use the countdown timer, you can emphasize the savings, you can use next day delivery as one of the benefits. If you're offering all three, you can dynamically change the banner and the information that is going to be shown there. But again, using a banner is going to help your customers. Again, even though they are coming through advertising, even though they might, even if they might have visited your website organically, you want to have this information in the banner on your website. But now there is a couple of things that you also do want to avoid, and this is something you want to avoid during the week of the Black Friday Cyber Monday sales. So don't install any new apps, especially not apps that do anything on the front end. So anything that is going to be interacting with your website, you don't want to install it during the Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend. You don't want to have your page load times increase. You don't want anything crashing. So don't install any new apps. If you absolutely don't have to during that week, don't change anything on the website. So don't touch the pixel, don't edit your email flows, don't do anything that might affect the way customers interact with your website, or that reporting is actually working on your website. So try to keep everything kind of nice and clean, clean up your checkout funnel before the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale starts, because you want to have everything working optimally by then. And even though people are going to be telling you, okay, and this is even something that Shopify is going to be recommending, show available stocks, show the amount of available stock on the website, show how many people are viewing the product. This is not something that we recommend. Yes, it does help incrementally because this is building a sense of urgency, but what it also does is it's going to increase your page load times. And I've already mentioned that the attention span of an average customer is around 3 seconds. And if your page is loading really slow, if the experience is bad, this is going to be doing more harm than it is going to be doing good. because as your page loads slower, your conversion rate is going to be dropping. People are going to be adding fewer items to cart. So no fear of missing out here is actually going to help your website. Keep it nice in stock, promote your offers, but don't put too many apps that are going to be interacting with the front end, because like I mentioned, it's only going to be doing more harm than it is going to be doing good. Also, our tip number 10 is, if you have any questions, just ask us for advice. So we've been in the advertising business for years now. We've only done Shopify e-commerce businesses, and we've only worked in e-commerce. So we are very specialized in it. Our app has been built to help you sell more and to get the most out of your advertising budget. So if you have any questions, our email address is going to be in the last couple of slides on our webinar. You can always contact us and get some of our thoughts on what you are going to be planning for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and where you potentially could be putting in more budget. But now, just to go and see what the estimated impacts on sales, on your sales are during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday. If you are going to be using these tips, you're going to get around 9.5x in sales. So if you really implement sending all the 6 emails, if you do build enough urgency, if you're using accelerated delivery, and you are actually using Google as a channel effectively by using campaign extensions on shopping and search campaigns, if you do start on time, which is basically tomorrow, and if you do start your sales offers on Monday of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday week, you can actually expect around a 863% increase in your sales for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So this is usually going to be your strongest weekend of the year. The CPMs are going to be the highest, but also so are the conversion rates. And you really need to nail this weekend, because during the end of the year, prices are only going to be going up for advertising. We all know what the constraints are right now in the whole supply chain that's happening with everything in China, but also in the States. So sell as much as you can during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, because again, this should be your best possible weekend of the year, because even with the sales that you are going to be giving, and you know best how much you can give, our data should help you determine how big of a discount that you can give to actually be profitable still, by knowing your ad prices and knowing your expected conversion rates as well. But to really know what you can expect during the weekend, again, we've done a breakdown of how revenue was distributed last year and how much sales came in from Friday till Monday. And not surprisingly, most of your revenue is going to be coming in on Black Friday. People are expecting sales and discounts to start on Black Friday. So over a third of your revenue should be coming in from Black Friday. It is going to be dropping a bit on Saturday and Sunday. But then again, on Cyber Monday, your sales should be picking up again. But this is why it's important to actually send out emails as well. So keep your weekend strong and keep your customers informed of the discounts that you are giving during the whole weekend. So send some 6 emails during the whole weekend, and you should really expect your sales to be evenly distributed during the whole weekend from Friday to Monday. How many returning customers can you expect, and why you should be aiming for more returning customers? And again, emails come into play a lot here, because your old customers are easily the easiest contacted through email. What we've seen is that businesses have had the best results, so the most increased revenue, when they are targeting around 20 to 40% of old customers, so previous customers purchasing on your website, because returning customers have a 10% higher average order value than new ones. Target them really a lot through your email campaigns, but you can also even try targeting them on Facebook ads, even though this is not something we recommend during the year. But on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you want to be targeting customers that have the highest chance of converting on your website if you are already giving out big discounts to them. The increase in number of orders is also something that's really interesting to look at. And depending on the average order value, this is what our data tells us. So if your business is selling items that are under $25 or over $100, you can expect the highest increase in the number of orders coming in from your customers. So these under 25 and over $100 AOV do perform the best during the Black Friday weekend, but across the board, we are seeing an increase in the number of orders coming in from customers. So definitely, again, this should be your biggest weekend of the year. So basically, how much discounts can and should you give? This all really comes down to looking at how much of a discount you can give to remain profitable by assuming a conversion rate that is going to be some 3 to 4 to 5 times higher. Even with the higher ad price that you are going to be having in the CPM, it's really easy to calculate that from your average order value, from your expected conversion rate, and from your expected CPM. If you use all of our hacks that we've gone through today, you are going to have around 10x in sales compared to your normal day, or even compared sometimes to your normal month. So again, go all out on Black Friday. You still are going to be profitable. It's just a matter of you calculating how profitable you are going to be during the whole weekend. And just to kind of show you one last slide before we get to the Q&A section is looking at how people spend, how businesses spend on Facebook during the weekend. So, and this is only looking at Facebook purchases. So purchases on Sunday are, again, roughly equal to the ones that you are going to be getting on Saturday. But there is a drop of some 30% in Facebook purchases compared from Friday to Saturday. And again, on Cyber Monday, it's only a 6% drop in Facebook purchases, but people usually do spend less on Cyber Monday. So this could also be your chance. Spend a bit more on Facebook ads on Cyber Monday. Get those last sales in when people are still looking for discounts. Well, when they are getting your emails, retarget them a couple more times to really get the most out of your Black Friday weekend. And as I've mentioned, all of the data that we've gotten today has been from our Lebesgue marketing analysis app that's available on the Shopify App Store. It does have a completely free trial that lasts for 2 weeks. So you can give it a try. You can look at the Black Friday, Cyber Monday content and use it to prepare for your marketing strategy during that whole weekend. And if you have any questions, you can always ask us questions either via email, or you can ask us questions in the app itself through our intercom chat. So that's been it for me for today. And now it's time for our Q&A session. So if you have any questions, my colleague Michael is going to be manning the chat, and we can go through any tips and tricks that you want to hear additionally in this webinar. That's right, Alex, that's the app. Thank you.
First of all, thank you, Tony, so much. It was phenomenal, very informative, and thank you everyone for joining. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the chat. Here we go. We have one from Austin. Oh no, you're welcome.
Actually, more of a comment than a question, but thank you, Austin. If you have any questions, you have our email address, so it's info@lebesgue.io. We can always answer them for you there, and we'd be happy to help. And Santosh, yeah, the cost is going to be rising for video ads, but it is also going to be rising for all the other. It is also going to be rising for all the other ad types, just because of the amount of competition that's going to be happening on Facebook. Because you have to think of Facebook as an auction system, and the more people are bidding to have their impressions available to customers on Facebook, the more Facebook can charge for these impressions. So CPM is naturally going to be going up as people are spending more money on Facebook and are getting more in the game. But with the video ads, it's a really interesting situation. So number one, Facebook does charge more for video ads because it costs them more in bandwidth. So it costs them more in how much it costs them to actually host the video on their website and host the video on their servers. It costs them more in bandwidth to send these videos to customers. But also when you're browsing Facebook or Instagram, you don't want to have the same content type all the time. So what Facebook has to do is they have to mix it up. So you're always going to be scrolling through your feed, and you're going to be getting a couple of single image ads. Then you might see a carousel ad, and then you might see an ad that's going to be a video ad. So Facebook does have to keep it interesting for their customers. And it does have to keep it interesting for their customers. And if a lot of people are bidding on videos, and a lot of people are bidding on videos because videos just look cool and they were very well performing a couple of years ago, but right now everyone's in the video game, and that's just driving the price up because it does have a much higher competition. So videos, again, are going to be used by all of your competitors, and it is going to cost them a lot more. And you can have a much lower CPM. So let me just show you here. You can have a much lower CPM actually on carousel ads. So video ads are going to cost around $28 during Black Friday, so $28 CPM, while carousel ads are going to be around 11.75. But when you look at the click-through rate, so video ads 28, 11, but click-through rates, what we're predicting is that video ads always have a lower click-through rate, and you can get a much higher click-through rate on carousel and single image ads. And basically, you're going to be paying less and you're going to have more people clicking on your ads. So I think that this is kind of a win-win situation for everyone, and that's why we always kind of tend to tell people to kind of shy away from video ads a bit. Hope that answers your question, Santosh. And Mike,
we have a question from Roshan. He's asking about other ad sources like AdRoll, Taboola, for cold and warm traffic retargeting. If we have any data regarding all these other ad sources.
We haven't exactly analyzed them in our app. So what we usually do is we focus on Facebook and Google ads the most. But I would focus on sticking to these two platforms. AdRolls and Taboola really do have very confusing kind of ad attribution. And what's going to happen is they are going to be going for view through conversions very often. So whenever someone just sees an ad on AdRoll or Taboola, they are going to be counting that as a conversion in a lot of cases that we've seen. And Facebook and Google do have a very good attribution system. They usually do have very good reporting. So that's why we kind of focus on those the most, because you know exactly where your budget is going, how much you are making from your Facebook and Google ads. They are the easiest to track, I would say.
We have also a question from Alex. If you can see the competitors' ads for every single day during the Black Friday holiday, can you see when did the sales start? Yeah,
so that's what we've built this feature for. So our competitor analysis feature, this new ad section, we usually update it every 2 weeks. But during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, we are going to be scraping these ads on a daily basis. And you're going to see what your competition has launched on a certain day of the week. But not just what they launched, but also how many new ads they launched on a certain day. So this graph is going to help you see whether that was one ad or it was 8 ads like Italic did here. Again, it's going to change based on the business, but we see Allbirds a couple of days ago launched 23 new ads in a day. And that's useful information. That's useful to see what kind of sales they're running and what kind of discounts they're giving. So really do keep an eye on that as well. And we have Tiffany. What about Google ads? Yeah, sorry, we focus mostly on Facebook ads in this presentation, but Tiffany, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have about Google ads. Like I've mentioned, shopping and search campaigns do work really well. But using campaign extensions, promotion extensions is also very important, because this is what's going to be showing up for your customers when they are looking for a certain product and looking for a certain sale online. This is what's really important to do. But one more tip that I do have about Google ads: don't use obvious keywords. Don't bid on keywords such as Black Friday sale or Black Friday discount or the best Black Friday best Black Friday discount. This might seem like a good idea, but this seems like a good idea to everyone. So everyone is going to be bidding on these keywords, and this is going to be bringing the cost per click price way too high for you to actually be profitable when you are giving out discounts. Yes, the conversion rates might be higher, but your ads are not always going to be relevant. So kind of try to refrain from bidding on obvious keywords and go more into the niches. So go more into your niche and use campaign extensions to promote your discounts that you are going to be giving out. So that's it for the Google ads that I have right now, Tiffany. But please send us an email to info@lebesgue.io. I'd be happy to even schedule a call and talk a bit more about the Google ads and what you can be doing during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend.
Tony, I think the question about the Google ads was if she should start promoting early, 1 week before, or how far back did you say earlier?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at. I've had a couple of messages come in between the what about Google ads and what's happening. Should the ad mostly be about the sale or about the product? Every time we do Facebook ads, one is zero sales. Okay, on Google, have it kind of 50-50, product versus price. But the price is what's going to the price and the fear of missing out and the urgency is what's going to be converting customers during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So definitely keep it kind of 50-50 and promote it equally, but using campaign extensions is a great way to do both at the same time because your usual ad copy is going to be mentioned already, but also a promotion is going to be used in the campaign extension as well. So kind of the best of both worlds, I would say. And with you getting zero sales on Facebook, it might be the optimization strategy. So if you're ever kind of optimizing for link clicks or page views, this is a surefire way to actually just spend your budget and not get a lot of purchases. So it's really mostly the technical setup on Facebook, but a lot of it also has to do with content. If you do install our app, what we are going to usually do is we're just going to do a very quick red flags audit for you. So look at how your ads were set up on Facebook, whether or not you're using proper conversion tracking, how the ad set optimization is set up. So we're going to be doing that for both Facebook, but also Google if you connect Google to our account to really get through all of these mistakes that can hurt your business in a very, very important way. So ad set optimization is one of the biggest red flags that we have. And usually we've seen businesses that fix just one red flag, have their customer acquisition costs go down by some 90%. So these have been the cases where just using the completely wrong ad set optimization is going to hurt your business in ways that you can't even imagine. Hope that answers your question now, Tiffany. Sorry about the confusion earlier on.
Tony, we have a question from Patrick. So he is optimizing for sales, but he's not getting any sales. You know, he has a lot of views, a lot of likes at Facebook, but no conversions showing up whatsoever. Could it be a tracking issue?
I mean, it could. It could always be a tracking issue, but this is something that we usually like to take a deeper look into, because if you are optimizing for conversions, you should be getting some conversions. Sometimes it can be a completely missed landing page, or it can be the conversion funnel that's not leading customers to a sale easily enough. It might be a miscommunication in the whole ad. It's never just one thing. Facebook ads are kind of a beast that needs to be tamed, and there's a lot of different metrics that you can optimize for and that you can edit. So this is usually something that I like to take a deeper look into, but it's also something that our setup red flags is going to tell you. If something is way off, it's usually going to be marked with a big red X here, and if you just hit the explore more button, you're usually going to get a way to fix it. But Patrick, send us an email. I'd be happy to have a look for you.
We have another question from Tiffany.
Yeah.
Should the ad mostly be about the sales or about the product? And everything?
Okay, this is what we've covered.
Oh, already, sorry. Okay. Question from Zoom user. First of all, he thanks us for this. And would you recommend the same ad every week so that it can become recognizable, or different ads each week so that the audience is not tired of the same ad?
We always recommend keeping the frequency at least under 7. But what you want to be doing in this month leading up to the sale is you want to target as broad as possible. So you want to really use the correct optimization. You do want to optimize your content to be the best possible, but on acquisition, so on prospecting ads, your frequency should be pretty low, but you should be optimizing for click-through rate, and you should be optimizing for add to cart rate. So you want people who are relevant and who have a higher intent of purchasing even in the month before the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, clicking on your ad as much as possible, because these are the people that you're going to retarget during that Black Friday, Cyber Monday week. And you're going to retarget them with a sale, with promotional offer. So you're going to be giving 20% off, or you're going to be giving 30% off. Whatever you're going to be doing, you want to be doing it with an audience that has seen your ad, but hasn't seen it too many times. So always do both prospecting and retargeting. Try to keep it as interesting as possible, but it's usually going to be about the audience size. So never go too narrow, never do interest targeting and just go into a certain niche of maybe 2 or 3 million people. Try to target as broad as possible to get the biggest possible audience that you can retarget, but never ever use page views as an optimization or link clicks as an optimization. You always want to optimize for purchases, have these people visit your website, know your brand, and then you hit them with a promotional offer at the start of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday week.
Does your software work with the Shopify store? How do I install it?
Yes, it does work on all Shopify stores. So it is available on the Shopify App Store. So when you are installing an app on your Shopify dashboard, it is going to show up in your apps. Just go into the Shopify dashboard by hitting the Customize Your Store and search for Lebesgue. So the company name is Lebesgue, and you are going to be seeing our app. It's called the Digital Marketing Analysis app.
This is all she wrote for today in terms of questions. Does anybody else have any questions?
Okay, Tiffany, I see your question. So how much should you spend on ads? Yes, it is different from business to business, but definitely, I mean, you should spend as much as you can afford. So that's why it's really important to have a habit of doing Facebook and Google advertising consistently, just so you know what your customer acquisition cost is and how much it costs you to acquire a customer. You need to know how much you are going to be making from a customer in the long run. Again, so you want to know your customer lifetime value, so you can know what your customer acquisition cost on Facebook or on Google can be, and then you spend and you optimize until you get to that optimal CAC, so optimal customer acquisition cost. And if you can spend $2,000 on Facebook advertising, or 3 or 5, it doesn't really matter. It matters that you are going to get a much higher volume on your Shopify store coming in during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So as much as you can spend, if you are going to be spending it, the conversion rates are going to be the highest during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. And we've been in the business for the last couple of years. We've really done a ton of Facebook advertising, a ton of Google advertising. We've spent a lot, and we always do recommend to every business, as much as you can allocate to marketing, as much as you can allocate to bringing traffic on your website, that's how much you should be spending on your Facebook ads or on your Google ads for that matter. But basically, you need to know what the numbers are going to be like during Black Friday, what you can expect, and how much of a rise in revenue you can expect. And that's why we did this webinar, and that's why we built the Black Friday Cyber Monday section in our app. So everyone really does know what to expect, and not to overspend, but definitely also not to underspend, because you don't know what's going to be happening. What we want to do is we want to have all the benchmarks here for you, so you know exactly what should be happening in those 4 days when the sales are running.
Any other questions?
Okay, it's just here. So Tiffany, it is info@lebesgue.io. This is our joint email address. So you can send us an email anytime. We'd be happy to help. Okay, yeah, and thanks, Michael. Great. So if you don't have any other questions, I'm wishing you a happy Wednesday and have a great rest of your day. We'd be happy to see you install our app, and we'd be happy to help you with your digital marketing on Facebook and Google as well. Have a great day, and hope to talk to you all real soon.